Hi, everyone. It's Anita Berry with Johnston and Stewart here with an update from the 8th week of the 2023 legislative session. We have just one more week to go until session is done for the year. This week, both the House and the Senate concluded their final committee meetings of the session, leaving only bills ready for the floor left to consider. The House and Senate also kicked off budget conference this week. This is the process through which the chambers work out their differences between proposed budgets until they come to an agreement on one budget, which will pass both the chambers and be sent to the governor for consideration. Passing a balanced budget is the only thing the legislature is constitutionally required to do before adjourning session sine die. In order to finish on time on Friday, May 5th, the legislature must complete the budget no later than Tuesday in order to accommodate the mandatory 72-hour cooling off period before they are allowed to vote on the budget. At the end of the session, we will provide a full recap of all items of interest in the budget for Amplify. However, we are pleased to share that the House and Senate agreed on Friday to fund Visit Florida with $30 million in recurring funds and $50 million in non-recurring funds for a total of $80 million. At the beginning of session, the House had proposed defunding the program altogether. While the funding level is less than the governor's recommended amount of $100 million, we are incredibly happy with the work done to continue the program and the increase of funding from $50 million last year up to $80 million this year. As part of the agreement for Visit Florida, the House and Senate have agreed to dissolve Enterprise Florida. The functions of Enterprise Florida will be absorbed into the newly created Department of Commerce, which will take the place of the Department of Economic Opportunity. House Bill 5, which outlines those changes, passed off the House floor this week, and the bill is expected to be taken up by the Senate next week. Moving on from the budget, Senate Bill 892, which allows professional baseball teams to continue to pay minor league players less than the minimum wage in Florida, passed unanimously off the Senate floor this week. The House companion bill, House Bill 917, was amended to preempt local living wage ordinances, which can require contractors to pay certain higher wages. The Senate preferred to keep that measure off of their bill, passing a clean version instead. The House bill has not yet been scheduled for a floor hearing. The full Senate passed Senate Bill 714 this week, which regulates vacation rentals. The bill, sponsored by our very own Senator Nick DeSegli, seeks to balance local and state regulation of short-term vacation rentals. The bill would allow local governments to require vacation rentals to register and pay a fee, in addition to some other local regulation, like allowing suspension of local registration for properties with multiple code violations. Senate Bill 714 also requires online platforms like Airbnb to collect and remit sales taxes to the state. Finally, the bill maintains the grandfathering of certain ordinances, which includes the city of Clearwaters. The House Bill HB 833 is waiting to be heard on the floor. The Senate also passed Senate Bill 252 this week, which has to do with protection from discrimination based on healthcare choices. They will then send that bill to the House for consideration. The bill would permanently prevent businesses, governments, and schools from requiring anyone to wear masks or be vaccinated from COVID-19. The bill also prohibits employment decisions based upon those requirements. The original ban on vaccine and mask mandates that passed back in 2021 is set to sunset on June 1st of this year. This bill helps to codify some of the provisions that were put in place 2 years ago. Finally, the House passed HB 1259 this week, which would require local property tax revenues that have traditionally benefited only the construction and maintenance of public schools to be shared with charter schools. The Senate companion bill is on special order on Monday. That's all from the 8th week. There's going to be a lot more action on both the House and Senate floor during this final week, week 9, and we're going to continue to keep you updated on everything going on. Thank you so much.